How corrupt is the U.S. government to you? How does the misuse of power in politics affect you and I? Political corruption is the illegal act of using money or power for personal benefit of politicians. While political corruption in America has been around since the Articles of Confederation, whether it be in economy, sexual affairs, or using their power for personal gain, it needs to end. To support the claim that political corruption needs to be stopped, 3 arguments were constructed. Number 1, way too much money has been involved in the acts of political corruption. Jenny Landon, an organizer for the organization Represent.us, answered a few questions about political corruption in America. The following is her answer to why money is a main factor in misuse of power. Politicians, just like everyone else, would love to have more money. What is unethical is that politicians are elected with the promise that their job is to take care of voters. Lobbyists and PACs have found that money is the best way to get politicians to stray from the purpose of their offices. The money involved in the shady and somewhat ridiculous misuses of power in the U.S. politics have added up to about $7.2 billion. Not only that, but the amounts of money used for bribery has gone up drastically since the beginning of the U.S. democracy. The first act of bribery by a running president was in 1758, when George Washington himself spent $8,000 on drinks for voters. The most recent endorsements in PACs were in the 2012 election, with a grand total of $7 billion being spread around by both Obama and Romney. This increase could have many regular factors and could mean nothing at all, but shows how much bribery and endorsements have been snowballing. Number 2, politicians choose to use their power to cover up scandals and other misuses of power. Although it sounds absurd, there are plenty of American examples of scandals, with most involving the politician using their power to cover up something like a sexual affair or a case of bribery. Some examples: the Teapot Dome, Iran-Contra, the affair between Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky, and of course, the most famous of them all, Watergate. The Teapot Dome is a brilliant example of a politician using their power for profit. When asked about the Teapot Dome, Jenny Landon of Represent.us responded, "There should be more laws created at the local, state, and federal level to prevent politicians from compromising the ethics of their role or bribes. Some states don't even have laws that make bribery illegal. There are some laws that exist that create nonpartisan oversight committees that would limit such activity. They are not universal and not always effective." The hard part about bribery in the U.S. government is the fact that it's not uncommon. Way too many politicians go under the influence of bribery and secret money, and most do it because of weak laws that try to promote corruption. Number 3. On top of weak laws, another argument against political corruption is the weak enforcement that political corruption has against it. There are many good reasons for this, mostly being the fact that many of other important things have happened at the same time, which directs attention away from things like financial issues. In 2016, for example, America was literally on fire for the entire year. There were plenty of issues that caused more controversy than corruption. However, from what has been seen before, political corruption is still a major feature of interest because of the impact it has on American government. As said by Jenny, "To me, corruption is the root cause of why so many other issues that I care about are broken or stagnant. We can't make meaningful progress on any other issue before we work to fix political corruption." Along with lack of attention, political corruption cases have weak consequences. Although most common sentencing for corruption is impeachment, acts like bribery, which count as a criminal act, can result of a minimum of 4 years in prison and a fine. This is quite dull compared to the minimum sentence for selling marijuana, which is 5 years. But other countries have governments that are worse than ours. Our acts as a government are somehow justified by that. There's no arguing that our government has less corrupt ways than other countries, but that doesn't have much to do with people in our governments. The reason behind it is mostly the laws enforcing against political corruption. In other countries, there are even weaker laws trying to prevent bribery and secret money, which leads to more misuse of power. Our system is far from perfect, but many countries have even fewer ways of holding politicians accountable. The American Republic model includes means of keeping track of our representatives who we elect. The This democracy is special, and we need to take better care of it. Even if other governments are covered with more cases of bribery and secret money given to campaigns, doesn't excuse the acts of America's government. Americans declared independence to escape from the actions of the king, to have their own government that was made for the people to protect their rights. They wanted to prevent political corruption and stop the other issues that arise because of it. But instead of becoming a place where every voice is heard, America has become the land of lost hope and half-cooked cheeseburgers. Political corruption is the sometimes illegal misuse of power in government. Most of the time, it involves money being gained or exchanged by a politician and can involve scandals, but with the lack of attention and laws against it, political corruption has been an issue everywhere. And although the American population is being numb to the effects, it still hurts everyone. For these reasons, it is clear that political corruption needs to come to an end.